Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing. Juanita's back this week,
Wait,
y'all.
because it costs everything.
Oh, excuse me.
Clearly, Jordan missed me.
Are you ready to pay? All right. Shouts out to Unashamed Apparel, the one and only, the original. You can get your 10% off discount code at shopunashamed.com. Use the code LDCAT. So, Juanita, you're back this week. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so I think we're talking about a topic that maybe people don't think about is like a topic that we should talk about.
Until it becomes a problem.
Yeah, so we are going to talk about friendships while being married. So how do I navigate friendships while being married?
Or about to be married.
Yes, right. So seriously dating, courting, engaged. How do I navigate those friendships? Will they change? Can I have friends? Like, we're just going to kind of delve into that. Like,
okay. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you have friends in your relationship that were there before y'all got together?
I would say yes.
Because, and the reason why I'm asking is, especially, I almost said something that might have got me in trouble. I just feel like, and this is obviously a biased perspective, women stick together. Y'all really do. And so, like, I feel like sometimes it's like, this my ride or die. Like, is her my friend, and it just is what it is. It could very well be the same on the opposite side. That's not what I'm saying. So in that case where one party is like, oh, well, this has been my friend since the sandbox. Like, I'm never letting him go. Or I'm never letting her go. Like, how do you navigate that? Yeah,
I think that's a good point, because while I think the answer is yes, you can definitely have friends that you've had prior to your serious relationship and or marriage. But I would say that you have to be open to the fact that that may change. Whether you guys no longer are friends or the dynamics of your relationship will change. Here's why. Typically, if you have that person that is a ride or die, like, you go to that person for anything. You confide in that person. That is your person. When you get married, when you become one, your spouse should then become that person. It doesn't mean that you can no longer talk to your best friend or you can no longer confide in them. It just means that usually you would go to your spouse, or you should go to your spouse first before you go to that friend. And so I think that if you want for it to be a healthy relationship, I think that, and if your friend understands that, then your friend will also be on board. Here's the thing that usually causes the separation: when one person is moving and growing and the other person is not. Because if you are getting into a serious relationship and you are getting married and all these things, and you and your friends are understanding that the dynamic will change a little bit, and they start to understand that, and then they are also starting to get in a serious relationship, they're going to be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, we'll be with our spouses, and then we'll have little days where we meet up, But when your spouse starts, or when your best friend starts to go, oh, I don't like him for you because he trying to take you from me. Like,
even if it's a joke.
Yeah. Because then that says something like, let's talk a little bit about that, right?
Weird.
Because here's the thing that people don't talk about, that friendships can be unhealthy too. That you can have, what is it called? Codependent friendships.
Man.
Trauma bonding is real. And so when you think about the fact that, like, you need to grow and your friend also needs to grow, I think it's understanding that that person was that person before you met your new person, knowing that there has to be a level of grace given on both sides because you're navigating something new, you're growing into something new, and making sure that at the end of the day, you have that open communication. Don't just be leaving your homegirl off to the side and not saying nothing to her. But at the same time, don't be thinking you owe her every little explanation, because at the end of the day, she should understand.
Yeah, and I love that answer, because it's real, right? Like, especially the part that you said about, like, the codependence, and sometimes how relationships or friendships can be. That is going to cause a rift in your marriage, in your relationship. It absolutely is. The key thing is that you don't necessarily not have to be friends anymore, but the dynamics of your friendship has to change, or your marriage won't work. It just won't. It's the same concept as, like, running to mommy and daddy.
There has to be a level of separation that happens. Because you're becoming one. with your spouse, not with your friend.
Scriptures say, for this reason shall a man, and again, that's not gender, that's mankind, shall a man leave his father's house. So you're leaving how you were raised, all those things prior to friendships, whatever bonds you had, to become one with your person, right? And so that's all included. That's friends, that's family. And this is, again, not to say that you can't have relationships with friends or strong relationships with your family that you grew up in, but none of those should supersede the family that you are creating. And I feel like this tears a lot of relationships up, a lot of marriages up, because it is risky to leave what you know. It is risky to leave what you've been accustomed to or what you've become comfortable with, because the truth is, your best friend might know you better than your boo, right? But your boo will never know you as good or as better as or better than your best friend. Yeah, if you don't leave best friend. Yeah, and again, when I say leave, just so that we're clear, Jesus, just so that I am clear, I am not saying that you cannot have friends. You all can still very well be friends. But the dynamics of your friendship has to change. It has to change. Your partner needs to become your number one. Yeah. Best friend is automatically number two, maybe even 3 or 4. Yeah. Okay? And automatically. Go ahead.
No, yeah. And I just wanted to point out the fact that, like, I know I mentioned, your friendships growing, right? And I wanted to specifically mention that you can grow and growth can look different for different people. And so what I mean by that is, just because you're going to a relationship and you're getting married, like, just because your best friend is not doing that, it doesn't mean that she's not growing. Sure. Like, her growth may be like she bought her own house or she's getting another degree. Like, so it's not relative to the fact that, like, just because you're getting married, you only have to have married friends. No, but just know that, like, your single friend who's not married is just not going to understand what you're experiencing, in totality, because they're just not experiencing it. But it doesn't mean you cut them off just because they're not in a serious relationship. It just means, like, hey, for this to both work, we both just need to continue. We have to grow, we have to change, we have to figure out what is working. So, like, if my single friend is going out to clubs and stuff, that's not something that I'm going to be going to. So, like, I'm no longer going to be that friend for that reason. But can we go out for lunch? Sure. I mean, I know people go out for drinks. I don't do that. But, like, can we go out and hang out together with just you and I? Sure. Absolutely. Right. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't have to be in a serious or committed relationship for y'all to hang out.
I want to say, too, it made me think about this statement that I heard Jay-Z say, and other people have said it, but I heard it first from Jay-Z. He was like, when you grow and expand, people always look at you like you change. And he's like, that's the point. Like, you're supposed to change. And so there is going to be some discomfort, depending on how tight you are with your friend. But the idea of you getting married is that there is supposed to be a drastic change. Yeah. It is supposed to be a completely different life. Everything is new. Yeah. It literally is new life. And so don't hold so tightly to the old life that you forsake the new one. Yeah. Or what could come of the new one. You are ultimately stifling the growth of your marriage when you hold so tightly to what was.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah. And I think just piggybacking off of that, knowing that the Lord has new friends for you to have. And I think that that's important because, I mean, no one is 17, 18, 19 with their best friend that they've met since they were 7 thinking, like, oh, I'm going to have 5 other friends that I love just as much as this one. Like, nobody's thinking that. Yeah. But when you do go through life and you go through different experiences and you go through different places, like, the Lord can create other friendships from those experiences and friendships that could better align to your personal life. Doesn't mean that other friend is no longer there. It just means that that's a new friend that can help in a new area that maybe your other friend cannot. Yeah. And so that's the thing I want people to understand is that, like, I have friends for different areas of my life. And I think that sometimes we get so stuck on this, I want this sister, this best friend, this confident, like, and you can have that. But what I felt like the Lord has shown me is that, like, he's given me that in different people. Sure. So it may not necessarily be that I have that one person that I could give my all to, although, like, I do have a person that, like I can go to and it is a safe space. But I have other friends that I can be like, if I want to talk about marriage, I'm going to go to this friend. If I want to talk about motherhood, I can go to this friend. If I want to talk about navigating career and so I'm going to go to this friend. And I feel like that's important to note, that like people can be different things for you and to you as long as they're serving you and you serve them. And I think that's the thing, that people always assume that because that friend isn't to me who I am to them, they just cut them off.
Yeah.
Oh, this is done. You know, we're good. No. Yeah. If they serve you and you serve them, that's a relationship that you should continue to work on, to continue to pursue. But if you do get to that point, which is why things change, because when you get married, you're going to change. Your preferences are going to change. Things that used to be okay are no longer going to be okay. Yeah. And your partner, and that starts to cause strife between your friendship, and you're realizing maybe this friend no longer serves me. Yeah. Then that's when we start to have that tough conversation. Yeah, yeah. So, sorry. Go ahead. No, I just wanted to ask you a question. Like, have you ever had a friend that you felt like you had maybe prior to us, and then like when we kind of got married, that maybe was no longer your friend, like because you guys kind of just grew apart, or no? All of my friends, which is in many people, all of my real like close friends know and love Juanita. And it's never ever been an issue. It's never ever been an issue that it would have never gotten far enough for it to be like a problem. Because I'm not any of my homies that really know me already know I'm not with none of that. It's like they already know like the fact that thought would even cross your mind, like. It's just crazy for somebody like me. Like, no. So, all of the homies that's really, like, I'm really close to, it's never, ever been, no. Yeah. I feel like I've definitely lost friends. Not because of us. Like, it wasn't like I don't like Jordan. And I'm like, oh, peace. Like, it was never one of those. I think it was more of like... It wouldn't matter if it was. No, but I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to say that for the people. Like, it wasn't that type of thing, because people can like to draw conclusions. And I just wanted to be clear that it wasn't like an us thing. Yeah. That people were like, oh, I don't like him. So, and I'm like, oh, like, no, that's not how it is. But I think it's like I've just recognized that I have grown and I've changed. And I think that's the thing that people don't always acknowledge, is that, like, yes, you're growing together, but in a marriage, you're still growing individually. Right. And because you have this spouse that has lived a completely different life than you, that understands life in a different way, from a different perspective, when they're sharing their perspective with you, you're like, I never thought about it like that. You know, you're adapting, you're changing, you are like mixing up things that you thought like you liked, and now I don't like that anymore. Now I like this. And so I felt like for me, I started to grow and change. And just personally, like, I put up more boundaries. And so like prior to having and being married to Jordan, like, I would call myself like a people pleaser, you know? And so when you're a people pleaser, everybody wants to be your friend. Right? Everybody wants to work with you because, unfortunately, you're willing to do anything to keep those people around. Yeah. And so as I got married, I learned, I mean, y'all know my husband. Ain't no people pleasing bone in his body.
I don't think they know me that well. Cats out the bag.
Well, church pray. So, no, I'm just kidding. Listen, my husband is very firm in his boundaries, and it's one of the things that, like, I absolutely love about him, because I was not like that. Like, I just wasn't raised that way. And so that's one of the things that I've learned from him, that I've grown in our marriage. And so when I started to put Juanita first, and not in a selfish way, but more of like, hey, I can't be all these things to other people, that I'm not first to myself. And I started to serve myself again. I started to realize that there were certain friendships that no longer served me, or that I was investing in more than that person. And that's when you have to kind of make up in your mind, hey, listen, like, I'm not willing to fight for you more than you're willing to fight for yourself, you know? And that's when you just have to love somebody and be like, we got to go our separate ways. And I think that people don't talk about that enough. Like, I think that that's very healthy. It's very healthy to sit down with a person and say, hey, listen, like, we good. This is not working. There's no hard feelings. If I see you on the street, like, I'm going to speak to you. You know what I'm saying? I hope your mama's still doing well. Like,
I hope you're still doing.
But like this just can no longer be. We can no longer serve each other in this way because we no longer serve each other.
And it has to become that when that friendship is putting a rift between you and your person. Because
it was bringing me down, and if it's bringing me down, it brings us down.
Absolutely.
And I think that's important to know as well.
Yeah, I think people need to be okay with that type of discourse because here's the thing, and I say this all the time, like it is such let's be a little bit more mature, people of God. Okay, just because we are no longer friends or not the type of friends that we once were, that doesn't mean that we're enemies.
No.
To not be friends doesn't automatically make you an enemy. An enemy is someone who is against you.
Yeah, that's good.
If they are not against you, y'all are not enemies. Y'all are just not friends anymore.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Or the friendship looks different. Let's grow up. Okay? Yeah. You can't automatically throw everybody into that category, especially if you're following Jesus. Right? Yeah. Like you don't even have the right to hate anybody. Like, you give that up. You don't get a pass for that. You know? So yeah, especially when it comes to the topic of like relationships and you are getting married, don't let it be said about your marriage that you chose your friend over your spouse. Like, let's be real. I wanna push you a little bit, but not over. I want to push you forward. Don't let it be said that you loved your friend so much that you sacrificed more for them than you. No. Absolutely not. You got to give an account, my friend. Yeah.
And
you got to answer the big G. And he not about to be like, oh, well, she was going. No.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because you made a vow before all those people and the one who created, like, the world. You know? So, like, that's a pretty serious thing. Don't take it lightly, man. If you always choose each other, you'll always be chosen. But the moment you choose yourself or you choose your friend, which is in essence choosing yourself, right? Your partner is left unchosen, therefore creating a rift in your relationship that's literally unnecessary.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, yeah, I was about to say, like, as we go to close, I'm just like, ultimately what we're trying to say is that it is, yes, okay. And like, it is okay to have friendships in marriage. It's just a way that you have to navigate it so that it stays healthy and that it honors both you as a person and your marriage. Yeah. And I think that we just kind of want to highlight that because sometimes people think that marriage is isolating and that when I get married, like I cut off everybody, and that's not necessarily it because you're still a human being when you're married. So yes, you're a wife or yes, you're a husband, but then you're still an individual. Yeah. And I think that that's important that you still find the time to pour into yourself. And that can be an avenue where you're going out with friends, you're sharpening each other, you're talking with each other, you're growing together, you're learning together. And so those types of things are important to keep in mind.
I also want to say too, because I know that some people deal with this.
Okay.
If you had a past experience with someone who you call your friend, and I mean romantic or along those lines, if you biblically know your friend, y'all are not friends.
You went there.
Y'all are not friends.
Wow. Biblically, no.
If you know your friend biblically, you guys are no longer friends. That went out the window.
Sorry. Not sorry.
What is this? Like people...
That is important
y'all
to
are
know.
Not friends.
That is important
y'all
to know.
Y'all are not friends.
It would be very
and it don't
difficult.
matter how long ago it was. Again, y'all may not be enemies. Y'all are cordial at best. But you guys are not friends. I don't care how reconciled it was or it is now. Y'all are not friends. Friends are people that know your secrets. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, those are secrets.
No, you are crazy. Oh, Jesus. I almost said something that could have got this whole channel canceled. Y'all ain't friends.
My Lord.
You guys are not friends. You guys are not friends. You guys are not enemies.
No, that is true, because you cross that line when you talk about like, oh, my significant other doesn't like my friend of the opposite sex, like, because that's not your friend.
Yeah,
that's why.
And then here we go too, ladies. Let me help you. Okay,
help us.
That brother in the Lord.
Ooh. Does he have a wife in the Lord?
Listen, that single brother in the Lord that hold the door for you, make sure you're good. I'm not saying that all men are like this. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm telling you what I'm saying, okay? I'm saying that one that you know, or if you thought that if he had a shot, he might take it, that's not your friend.
There's just certain rules.
He's not your friend
to navigate.
He's not your friend. He's a predator. He's waiting for an opportunity.
Okay, all right.
Is that not a good analogy?
That was just very like, whoa. It just went from like went from like 25 to 1,000. It was like, ooh, bring it back.
1,000.
Bring it back within 100.
Okay, within 100. He's looking for an opportunity.
Some of them, yes.
Some. And this is not a bulletproof statement. This is not all people. I am just saying, I know that you're kind and respectful, but there needs to be a boundary. And fellas, this is the same thing for you.
Yeah, because I just...
sister so-and-so that's batting her eyes and make sure she got her makeup on.
Because in my mind, like, I've had friends of the opposite sex, right, prior to marriage. I don't think I have any male friends since we are married that's not a husband to my girlfriends. Like, I haven't accrued, is that the word?
Okay, I think.
I haven't gotten any more male friends.
Any new?
Yeah, I haven't gotten any new male friends since we've been married, because like, why would I need them?
Sure.
Or like, why would they want to be my friend is what I'm saying.
And not my friend.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like all of our friends of the opposite sex are married to our other friends of the same sex. Like, so all of our friends are like couple friends.
Yeah.
You know, but even that, we still don't talk to each other outside of like being with our spouses. So I can't fathom why someone would want like to be friends with someone outside of that. Like maybe at work. But I just, like, still, it doesn't make sense.
To me, I feel you. To me, even still, the whole work conversation is like, just because we co-workers, that don't mean we friends. Like, this doesn't automatically
I mean, some friends, some co-workers, you can turn to friends and to turn to family.
But not inherently, not just because.
But I feel like even in that, like, homeboy should have a wife, and then we can go hang out.
Yeah, but and so that's what I mean. That's what I mean, Juanita, when I say just because we're not friends, that doesn't mean we're enemies. Or just because we cool, that don't make us friends.
Yeah, there's a difference.
That doesn't make us friends.
There is a difference.
Just because I'm kind and respectful to you and I asked you how your day was, that does not make you a friend. A friend, again, is way beyond the surface level.
Maybe we need a whole episode on what is a friend.
Listen, a friend is someone who knows your secrets.
Friends. How many of us are?
We don't. We make the mistake and think that like just because we cool or we nice or kind. No.
Yeah.
You can be friendly and not be a friend.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Fair.
You're exhibiting or you're seeing friendliness or friendly nature.
Yeah.
But y'all are not friends. Y'all don't know each other.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in, is because when you become friends with someone, you know them deeply, intimately. And again, not intimately in a sexual manner. That's not even what the word means. But I mean beyond the surface. You know their secrets. You know them better than most people.
Yeah.
And that's why it becomes dangerous if your friend, your actual friend, knows you better than your spouse.
Yeah.
This took a sharp left turn. We went somewhere else.
Yeah, but we'll bring it back. Okay. So you can be friends with people. Even in a serious relationship.
Yes, you absolutely
even
can.
In marriage, like you deserve to grow.
But you shouldn't have, Juanita shouldn't have, or I shouldn't have a friend that is also not friendly or a friend also to Juanita.
Right.
I don't have a single friend that is also not a friend to Juanita or that doesn't know Juanita or really doesn't have Juanita's number or a means to get in contact. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the dynamic. This is the changing of the guard in your friendships. This is what it should look like when you become one with someone. There is no, Because again, you're becoming one. So like, if you and I are one,
yeah,
the friends that you have should also.
I was about to say that, Jordan. That's. Yeah. I feel like that's what we did though. Like all of my friends, I feel like when Jordan came around, like I felt like they started loving him more than they loved me. Like I was just like,
that's understandable.
Let me drop this mic. Just kidding. No, but I'm just saying, like Jordan, like I don't even think we even talked about it. It was just automatically like my friends are your friends are my friends. Like it just happened like that. But then you also started to create your own relationships with them, like through me. But like it just went like that, you know. And I think that's how it's supposed to be, because I just think that that's weird that I have to operate on this level with my friend, and I have a spouse right here, and now I gotta like switch up and then be with my spouse. Like that's just too much. Like I should just be on the phone and be like, oh, I'm talking to so and so. Yeah. 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 And then so and so should be like, hey, Jordan, how you doing?
They absolutely should.
Which is usually.
And if they don't.
And Jordan hijacks all my friendship conversations.
That's crazy. I'll be respectful.
Especially the one. She know who she is.
Shouts to the Emma Coas. We love y'all.
We love y'all.
We're going to see y'all soon. We love y'all. But Momo was my friend first.
You
keep forgetting that.
We're not going to talk about that.
You keep forgetting that. Momo was my friend first.
It doesn't matter. The Lord brought us together. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how long you knew her. It doesn't matter. She's mine.
That's crazy. She stole my friend.
She's ours, but she's really mine.
Whatever.
I love you.
Whatever. And the craziest part about it,
Juanita to you.
Juanita. The craziest part is if Momo heard this, she would side with you. So it doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm. But she loves you.
Why does Jordan even talk? Randall! Love you, bro.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with Juanita and Jordan today.
Yeah.
And our channel. This is Love Does Cost a Thing, because it costs everything.
And most of y'all are unwilling to pay. So I need y'all to get ready to pay.
Don't end it like that. We're supposed to be nice.
They should know me by now.
Love does cost a thing. It costs everything. All right. Don't forget.
Hit the subscribe button below.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Yes. Tell your mama, tell your friends. Yeah. Tell your best friend.
Don't just watch this in secret.
Y'all can watch this together. Talk about it.
If you enjoyed this, if you learned something, if you got challenged a little bit, don't keep it to yourself. Share with a whole bunch of people that you know. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
This is Love Does Cost a Thing. We'll catch you on the next one.